Hmm? Ah! Oh.
Welcome to the show. My name is Alex,
No,
and this is the What Is From cast, a podcast dedicated to the show From. And we are talking season 3, episode 5, The Light of Day. And all I can think of is Bruce Springsteen with his song. And this was a doozy, that's for sure. Uh,
yeah. Oh
this
my gosh.
And I just, before we get into everything, I just want to welcome all the people that are listening in. And we've got a lot to talk about. Yes, we have to talk about Dale, but we do have a couple of guests coming on. Um, we actually do. We're going to be teasing Dale. He's going to be coming in a little bit later. But before that, we're going to be talking to the bathroom bad girl herself, Nikki, and her partner in crime, Clara.
Katerina. Oh,
Katerina.
yeah.
They go by a lot of different names, right? And yes, Sunday is From Day, and folks, if you guys are interested, like we said, you can hit the subscribe button. If you know anybody else, we are up to a whopping 675 subscribers, and we're trying to get to 700. Hopefully we can get to 700 by the end of this podcast. So that said, Lizzie, what was your first thoughts on the episode?
You know, of course I loved it. I mean, there were so many things to be excited about, but I'm just stunned about Dale. Stunned. Stunned. Capital
Yeah,
N.
I mean, for a character that was just kind of on the fringes, and there's a lot of characters like that. They're
Yeah,
not leads, but they're not, they have storylines. And
yeah.
to see him go the way he did is just kind of sad. And we were just starting to get to know him.
Yeah, and I mean, we can talk about this more when he's on the show because I'm saving the Dale section for last, but
Of course.
you know, I saw a different guy standing outside of that tree then.
Absolutely, and that there's a lot to be said for that. It's like he didn't even care what was gonna happen, he just wanted it to end.
Yeah.
And, but we're gonna talk more about that a little bit later. In terms of my first thoughts, we're at the halfway mark just about, right? We're over the hump because there's 10 episodes,
This is
right?
episode 5, yeah.
Yeah, we're episode 5, and, you know, what have we learned? We've learned that the monsters are on the offensive some more, and they have some more tricks in their bag, so to speak. And from you can't just get out of from it. There's no key. There's no,
There's no certainty.
yeah. Well, they run the best way to equate it is the survivors are playing checkers and the monsters are playing chess. And we're going to talk
Yeah.
more about that a little bit later. Um, so let's get into it. All right. Um,
Yeah. Let's start over at Colony House.
you got it.
Um, so wait a minute, what?
What's wrong?
Sorry. Oh, okay. So they bring Randall in. I was trying to remember what the heck I was talking about in regards to Tilly, but they bring Randall in. Half of his cheek is ripped away. He's definitely in rough shape. And I can only imagine what he's seen, what he experienced that night. But Tilly was like, why would they do this? And I'm like, why would you ask that question, Tilly? Like, why would they leave him half dead versus just killing him and eating him? Like, there's a reason behind it. They're torturing the survive. Well, I don't even know if they're survivors, what we call, the townspeople, whatever. So there was that. Donna shows Henry Victor's room, and it was kind of strange. I mean, we've all looked at Victor's room when we've been in there, when Victor's been in there doing whatever. But looking at it through Henry's eyes was a different experience. What were your thoughts when you watched him walk around the room?
You know, I was thinking it was kind of interesting because it reminds me of when I first went to my daughter's like second, first grade, even this year in her fourth grade classroom. And you're the as the parent, you've always been like their world, but now they have this whole other world that you're not a part of. And
Yeah,
you're trying to kind of learn their world. And I think that it was just I felt so bad for him because missing out on a baseball game once in a while is
yeah,
one thing. He basically missed out on Victor's whole life.
yeah,
And eh, you know, when we get to Victor, it's kind of interesting because Victor has a certain way that he's approaching it, and the
yeah,
father Henry is approaching it a different way, and it's such a kid response and it's such a dad response. And
yeah,
it was I don't want to it was just sad and joyful at the same time. So yeah, it's just I'm having a hard time with the relationship, not in a bad way. It's just that it's just hard to watch. I mean, especially when you thought your son was dead, or you
yeah,
thought you'd never see your father again, and then all of a sudden they pop up. I mean, I know Victor. I mean, there's been talk on the interweb, so to speak. Is he really his father? You know what I mean? And I'm not trying to like go down a tangent, but like, is it something the From is kind of constructed? Did it really,
oh,
is it really part of that? I mean, I think it really is his dad. I really do. But he's an interesting character because he has more information than the average bear because of his
who the
wife.
oh, right,
Right?
right. He
He's got
comes in with like
a
a
plethora
notion
of
of
knowledge.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
that's one crazy trip they were on. But at
yeah,
the same time, I think that, the welcoming of Henry is kind of a difficult thing. I mean, I understand why Victor didn't want to see him at first. It's like, what do I say?
or does he still love me?
Or, is he mad at me? I mean, and that's what they
Yeah.
talk about. Y- you know,
Well, yeah, I mean, where Victor was saying, "I didn't know how to get home," his thinking his father is thinking that he didn't want to come home when all he wanted to do was to be home. Um,
I mean,
so it
I
was
still go
just
back to I'm sorry. I still go back to the fact that why did From the entity keep him there? I mean,
keep Victor there.
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, they could have killed him at any time. We all know
or
that.
or just let him go. Maybe
Go
nobody gets
where?
to go. No, I'm just saying what I mean by that is maybe nobody leaves From. Like, maybe that's the thing. You never leave. You either die or you live.
Yeah,
I mean, and that's the thing, we could say, "Hey, they're getting out and they're doing this and they're doing that." You know what? They may never get out.
Right.
And I'm not trying to be a naysayer. I'm just thinking, like, when you look at what Victor's situation is, I mean, he's never seen anybody get out of here. And there's
He
only
didn't
one
know how.
person that's
Yep.
getting out. Only one person. And
And we don't
she never really
and
went
they
out.
brought her back.
She
But
never
we don't
left.
even what's that?
She never really left.
I'm wondering if she ever really left. If
I
maybe
mean,
she just went to the other side of the island.
this is the thing that's driving me nuts. And we're talking, season 3, episode 5, The Light of Day, is this. Okay, let's just go on the assumption that she did leave and she was in the quote unquote real world. Why the monsters, or I should say from, can pull you in at any time. So there is a entity, there is something that they need to beat to do what they need to do. And I know we're gonna have one of our first guests come in, and hopefully her partner in crime will be here soon. But let's take a quick pause on that, and let's talk to the worst bathroom mate ever. If you want a bathroom and you got to go, this is the girl you don't want, and these are the reasons why you don't want to join a sorority. And the person, her best friend, who basically told her, get lost. So let's welcome Clara and Nikki to the podcast. Ladies, how are you? And AKA Tamara and
Katerina.
Katerina.
It's been
Sorry.
so long, Katerina.
Hi,
First
How
off,
are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys?
first
Good.
off,
Hi,
we,
Tamara.
Hi.
um, we want to say, Tamara, you may be a really great person. And when I talk to your partner in crime next to you, she's like, she's a really nice person. Honestly. I'm like, you don't be messing with the pregnant girl. Okay. Let's just first say that. You don't be messing
Well,
with
Yeah.
the
don't
girl. And you got
don't be
between
messing with my bathroom time.
telling you, you
Yeah.
got exact. And you know what? You don't peek out the window when you're at from. I mean, like, come on, girl. Like,
That's
you got one
fair.
job. You got one job. And
Yeah.
so tell the viewers a little bit about you, what you like, what's your, I know obviously you're a working actress, you do all that other kind of good stuff. So just introduce yourself to the fromily, all 5 people that are listening.
Sure. So my name's Tamara. I swear I am a nice person, though I do tend to get cast as meanies a little bit. So there, we'll just take away from that what you will. Um, Outside of screen time, I have kiddos and chickens and dogs,
Oh
and
my.
I work as social media creator, not for myself, but for other people. And that's me.
Well, that's awesome. And I got to put you aside for 1 second because I got to talk to your partner in crime here. We are so happy that you are getting so many more lines this year. And they're good lines. You're cooking meat. Like, come
I
on,
know.
girl. I mean, you're doing physical stuff this year.
I actually had a moment while I was doing that because it was a real piece of meat and like the skillet was hot and I was cooking it and I was like, this is my job. Wow. I was
This is the
just
glamour. This
so
is the
happy.
glamour of acting, right?
Yeah. I was like, just be normal. You
Yeah.
can do it.
Well, we do have a little bit of surprise for Tamara. We realized that you had an untimely death, and it was very unfortunate, sort of. So we came up with something that was just for you. Hopefully you like it, and hopefully the viewers will like it too. And folks, if you have any questions for the mean girl and the meat girl, we can ask them too. So there's a little something together just for you. And were you in any of the other seasons of From, or was this your first and only deal?
This was it. Yeah.
Ah, that's too bad because you're like there.
Yeah.
And Katrina, have you ever found your bike?
No, no. It's it's the biggest plot hole in this
You know
in the
what?
whole series.
When they
Yeah.
are, yeah, it's going to be like Harry Potter. They're going to be writing all these different things and stuff like that.
Yeah, maybe I'll get my own spin-off. Who knows?
Well, we can only hope. Now, so let me ask you a couple of questions. I know Lizzie has a couple too. What has this season been like for you since you've been there since the beginning? Like, how has it changed this year? I mean, you're in the third season. Like, what has been good or challenging or whatever, just as a whole?
It's been, for me, really awesome. It's like a well-oiled machine. People know what their days are going to look like. People are excited to do all of the freaky stuff that you see. And I don't know, it felt, okay, well, not to sound like too cheesy, but very much like a fromily.
Really?
Coming back and like seeing everybody and just being excited to be there. And for me, I was like, yeah, the role is growing. It went from one word, one line, no name character to, I feel like I have a little place in this universe now. And yeah, I'm just really glad to be a part of it.
It is pretty, it's been exciting to watch that, that you're coming more and more to the forefront. And I'm hoping you don't die or something like that, but I'm wondering where your character will go, like what they'll end up doing with you. And there's a note for Tamara that you made yourself so hateable on the show that it was awesome.
Thank you. I appreciate that. I figure if it's going to be a short time, it may as well be a fun time for both the viewers to root for me to be eliminated, and for myself, that was a delight. So
I'm going to tell you right now, the one character that everybody loves on this show, I mean, besides Clara and besides Boyd, there's only one everybody loves, and that's Jasmine. And she was on for 3 episodes. And I think the way they did what they did with you, how long did that shoot take? Because you had all prosthetics and everything else going on. I mean, that was not exactly a non-gory deal going on. And that's just
it was very sticky. The actual death scene, I mean, it was shot over a couple of different days. So there were obviously fittings for the prosthetics and the cast that gets built. And then the actual shooting, there was different days for different angles of the window shot, and then different moments for the actual death. But they shot all of the really gory stuff all in one day. I think that's ideal for costuming and makeup and all of that, and the cleanup.
Yeah. Exactly.
That's awesome.
What a great way to go too. I mean, like if you're on a horror show, right?
Now,
like that's how you want to go.
No, absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Now, were you in that final scene where Pega was kind of, for lack of a better term, fingering your whatever holes?
Yep. My hole, yes. Yes, I was. That was me. They shot that. I feel like we shot that maybe on the same day as everything else. It's honestly a bit of a blur, but yes, that was my body.
Yeah, John wanted to know how hard was it to play dead. I know we've had Bob Mann on here, and he's talked about that. Are there any tricks people tell you to pull off, to how to pull it off?
No, there was no real recommendations. Just kind of, the goal is to glaze out. If I'm not there, then I'm likely not reacting to the things around me. So, and I have kids, so I have learned to tune things out very well. So, I would say my biggest problem was the scene where Pega is sticking her fingers in. My stomach would not stop growling, and I was so mortified. This very silent room, very intimate, as she's shoving her fingers in. My stomach is just waiting for its 15 minutes of fame, and that was the worst part.
Well, she's into all that blood and guts right now in terms of the character. So anything rotten would be good too.
There you go.
Lizzie, I know you had a question.
I'm trying to find them now. So let's see. I I I had my questions. I don't know where they are. So I'm actually speechless. This never happened.
Oh,
This
this is
never
a
happened.
great day. This is a great day in Fromcast.
I
Now
know.
I'm going to ask.
Um,
Well, I do want to ask them the question that we ask all of our cast this year. Katerina, since you've been on the show, and now I'm assuming you've watched the show before. I don't know. Maybe you have. Maybe you haven't. Do you think love is the Achilles heel? Because the closer that the survivors get, it seems like the monsters are getting more intense. When the first season, it seemed like everybody was at odds. Everything was just kind of status quo. Who wants to take that first?
I wonder if it's love or hope.
yeah.
Because
What about you,
I
Katerina?
mean,
Oh, okay.
yeah. No, go ahead.
You go. Yeah, no, that's a great, yeah, love or hope. Yeah, because it's sort of like how desperate do they get, you know? And the more desperate they are, the worse decisions they're making. So is it because they love each other that they're getting more desperate, or they're just more hopeful, so they're kind of taking more risks because, somebody got out. Maybe we can too, and then obviously shit
Yeah.
hit the fan.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, no, that's a great point. Is it love or is it hope?
So we saw the biggest ensemble um, that I think we've seen on the show, and you have a big line in that episode not in that episode, the scene in the diner. How was it to have everybody there and then some?
It was really cool. It had been a really long time since I'd seen everyone. Was like sort of broken up, and it wasn't until shooting that day that I met Catalina. I
My
hadn't
goodness.
met her at all. We just never were on set on the same days, which is wild because I'm sure she was there like most days, but just happened to never be on mine. And then since Catalina and Ian had an entrance, and I also had an entrance, we ended up being held in the same little actor holding. So I got to spend like the day just chatting with the both of them, and that was just so cool because they're so experienced and they're super lovely, and they have this really great rapport with one another. Like if you would believe that they are an old married couple if you just like overheard one of their conversations.
I
Yeah, we
got
just
that sense when they were standing in the doorway and he's just kind of being very protective of her. And I was like, it just came across as so real. Like I don't recall ever noticing that on any other couple that I've looked at. I just got finished watching this Kristen Bell series that was really good. And yeah, like they were a hot young couple, but I didn't see that same kind of care where he's just like, protecting her, from the mob, basically.
Yeah, I
Um,
think they're friends and outside of it, which is probably translating through in the acting. The friendship is there, and that's what makes them also play such great partners.
yeah,
yeah.
we had a chance to interview her last week. I think it was. Was it last week or the week
Or the week
before?
before.
And you can just tell. I mean, all you guys have been so gracious to us, coming on and being available or whatever else. And she was just as you could tell it was genuine. unless she's really acting well. But I mean, to us, it's very genuine. Yeah,
I mean, she's a great
I
actor,
have
so
seen that. Yeah.
I mean, yeah. She's definitely, she was gorgeous on the video. I can't even imagine what she is like in real life. So,
Yeah.
so are what's going on with you, Katerina? What else do you have going on? Since I know you're just not flopping meat everywhere. What else are you doing in terms of work? Because I know you got a couple things going on.
yeah, we just wrapped, well, not just, but in the spring, we wrapped season 2 of Good Grief, which is a TV series that my creative partner Amy Treffery and I do. It's a comedy, a dark comedy on Out TV. So season 2 is done. Season 1 is on Out TV. First episode's on YouTube. If you want to check it out. Bob Mann is in it. Need I say
Oh,
more?
Exactly.
yeah.
We'll have him back on for our season wrap up. We have him on our pregame, and then we have him on our season wrap up. So, I mean, he is the official mayor of Halifax. I'm assuming, Tamara, you know Bob Mann as well. I mean, if you don't,
Yes.
I mean, come on. I mean, it's like he's like the godfather of Halifax, Nova Scotia.
Absolutely.
Oh my God, I would watch that movie.
Exactly.
Yes.
I have a part.
Father of Halifax.
Exactly. And Tamara, you said you do social media. Are you also a working actor as well? Outside of being
Yeah.
a parent?
I don't do a ton, I'll be honest. But I love to dip my toes in whenever people have me. So I've done more theater and stage work than I have film and television. But I'm enjoying the transition toward film and television, and I hope to show up on more of your screens, I guess.
Yeah.
Tamara's an incredible musical theater artist. She is the voice of an angel.
Oh.
And also the
you.
voice of a meanie. You do play mean characters a lot,
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
See,
even
I
in the
was
musical
just
theater
like,
side.
Yeah.
cut this woman some slack. She's pregnant with like severe morning sickness. There has to be another bathroom.
I know. Isn't there another bathroom in this place?
Well, if it's my turn, no one asked Nikki what Nikki was going through, right? Maybe not pregnant, but maybe ate some of those rotten vegetables, right? Like,
Yeah.
gotta
Okay,
cut
so
Nikki some
here's
slack.
the hard hitting question. What was your motivation? I'm just kidding.
That was actually my dad's first question when he saw that, the death scenes and whatever. He said, like, what were you thinking about? It's like, obviously childbirth. I think that's what anyone who's had kids has thought about. But my motivation for being mean is we all have cranky days. I'm not immune.
Was it difficult filming in the winter? Because I know it was like a balmy, like negative 57 degrees in Nova Scotia at the time. How was it filming this season because of the winter?
Snowstorm.
I would say, yeah, snowstorms. Filming in snowstorms, not great. I got lucky and a lot of my stuff was in studio. So, outside it might have been gross, but inside it was lovely. So, but the days on doing exteriors and such were very, very cold and windy, as you can see in the scene with the vegetables. But it is what it is. We're used to it here. So,
well,
I was
ladies,
also lucky.
I want to thank you so much. Katerina, you always have an open invitation. You're always nice enough. Every time I message you, you always message me back, despite the fact that it's stupid stuff I'm messaging you sometimes. And
Well, that makes
Tamara,
me wonder.
welcome to this craziness. And hopefully, I know you can't come back. Maybe you'll come back as a monster. Who knows? We'll put some
That would
makeup on
be
you
so
or whatever
cool.
else. But we got to let you guys go because, unfortunately, as bad as you are and the meanest as you are, we have the biggest SOB coming on better than you. Okay.
ooh.
And I would like to thank you guys for coming, and we will talk to you soon. I promise we will get you guys back on. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for having
All
us.
right.
Thank you
See you
so
guys
much
later.
for coming. Bye.
Bye.
All right. Now, the man of the hour, the man, the myth, the legend, the one guy that if they would just listen to him, this place would be better. And that is our best friend, Dale.
Look
How are
at
you,
it!
Cliff?
Hello.
Long time no see, my friend.
Hello.
It's good to
Oh
see
my
you
gosh.
too.
Well,
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you
First
for
off,
understanding Dale.
Of course. There
first off,
was
where's
always something about him. Like he gave off kind of like a 70s vibe because I could have sworn at some point he was wearing like an astrological sign like medallion that used to be in the 70s.
Oh yeah, yeah. But yeah, I had I had a leather necklace thing and a little triangle silver thing. Yeah. That's what I had for my
so
my jewelry.
let's
Yeah.
get into the important questions. Where's the boss? Where's
Oh,
the boss right now?
upstairs.
Okay.
Upstairs.
And how's the grandbaby? And how's the grandbaby?
Grandbaby's great.
Okay.
Upstairs. One more level.
As
Yeah.
long as
Awesome.
those two are
Yeah.
okay, then the rest of
And
it's
the
great.
rest of it, yeah, I know we're having a great visit with our grandson. It's just been a blessing. He's in from they're just over visiting from the UK. He's 8.5 months now, and
Wow.
it's just he's just a fireball. It's great.
It's
I'm gonna
going
tell
so
you,
fast.
I know.
I know.
He's growing really fast.
Yeah, and he's crawling around fast and pulling himself to standing fast. Yeah, all
Oh,
that stuff, Yeah.
it's so
So
exciting.
this is the question that I have. Why did they make you almost likable and then they kill you off? I mean, and I don't mean that to be funny. Like you always had a good couple of one-liners with Donna. You always, every time you saw Ellis, you had to like do something to him. But like this particular season, it seemed like you had kind of came in your own. You finally had some parts, and we would have loved to have known what your real backstory was because you had been there so long.
Yeah, yeah.
So what was it like dying through the hole? I mean, that scene was like crazy,
Yeah.
in the works. I mean, how long did that take
To
to do the wall scene, or was that all
oh,
CGI?
no, it wasn't CGI. It was they did film me doing that, and they did some prosthetic animatronic stuff too. But it took. I mean, I spent a lot of time with our prosthetics guy and all that, and but it, it was, and then they filmed me and recorded me a couple times with the sounds and all that, just to, the kind of gurgling. But how do you gurgle with cement? All that stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
But it was doing all that and like getting to walk in the tree was actually kind of cool. I was like,
Wasn't it?
I'm stepping in the iconic bottle tree. This is great.
Yeah.
Because I'm a fan of the show. So I was like, looking at the
Yeah.
tree and all that stuff. This is wow. It's cool.
Well,
Yeah.
we have something for you, Cliff.
Oh,
We know that you're the most lovable hated person in From. So we put something together. It's not very long, but we put something together, and hopefully you'll enjoy it as much as I enjoyed making it.
okay.
You don't mess with the faraway tree.
Yeah.
So
That's great. Thank you. Bringing a tear to my eye.
I didn't realize until the day you popped up when we were with Liz
Mhm.
that you're the Scottish guy. You're the one that's Scottish, right? Is that what the tie to Scotland is?
Where-
Because it sounds like you have a bit of an accent.
Oh yeah, no, that's you might have heard a little bit of Ottawa Valley, but I mean,
Oh,
I have Scottish blood, yes, but
okay.
no, that's it's more you might be hearing traces of the Ottawa Valley, which is about I come from about 100 miles north of Ottawa, well northwest.
Oh,
And yeah, up there, and they all, it's kind of very Irish, Scottish enhanced accent, and they all say "G'day, g'day, I'm from the valley." And, yeah, they had T-shirts, everything, the whole bit. Because we all say "G'day, g'day, g'day." That's
great.
how we greet, right? Everything. G'day.
Yep.
We're talking to Cliff Saunders, aka Dale, and he was nice enough to stop by. And I know you've worked with your wife before, but it just seems like when you two get together on screen, you just love it. I mean, does it really work? I mean, it just looks like you're just having a ball.
Oh yeah, fooled ya. No,
Uh,
yeah. It is. It's great. Well, I mean, I think most people will say working with Lizzie is a treat. So, but yeah, it's special for us because we get to hang out, and you know, when you're filming a lot of it, there's a lot of hanging around, even when you're not, in front of the camera. So, we get to just hang out all the time there, and it's interesting. It's a little, it's not odd, but it's a little odd unless you do it all the time. But it's I would say it's a nice treat, and it's also but also working with Lizzie is a treat because she gives so much
Yeah.
in the scenes, right? So, and
Yeah.
and we haven't actually worked much together in our careers at all. We
Really?
met doing a show, and then 30 years later, or not, maybe not 30 yet, but less than 30. The next time we worked together was From. So
Oh God.
yeah, yeah,
That's funny. Like
yeah,
all of a sudden, there you are. There you are together.
yeah. And she's
Um,
giving me the old right hook.
yeah,
Well, you know
that
what?
was awesome.
I mean, so now that you're out of the show, you can tell us all the secrets. Now that you're out of the show, what do you think that anybody's going to get out? I mean, because you tried to get out and it puts you into a wall. I mean, and then with Tabitha being brought back, do you
Yeah,
think there is a way? Because you're a fan, I know you're a fan of the show. Do
yeah,
you really think somebody's going to survive?
sure. Hope, we gotta have hope. I mean,
Yeah.
uh, I mean, it's interesting when Harold was in the pool, but just before that, I go, look, somebody's got to do it,
Right.
right? So I do it. So I'm the sacrificial lamb. They should be thanking me. But but
See, that seemed to be Dale's attitude about everything. They should be thanking
I
me.
know,
Like,
and
like you
listening
stood
to me.
up and like you were like, I'm out of here. We're going. You
Well,
know?
yeah, because from the townspeople, like from all the people that haven't seen this tree or haven't know, I mean, it seems pretty obvious. It's like, what? There's a tree. She went through a tree and she got out, and then they said, well, no, actually, you took it to a lighthouse. Okay, well, let's get to the lighthouse. How do you get a
Yeah.
lighthouse? You go through the tree. It seems pretty simple. It's pretty obvious. The people, Dale doesn't have the information, the information that the viewers have, and they don't, and also he uh but also, why should I listen to Boyd? Like, what, we've been listening to him for a long time. I'm tired of it. It's not
Yeah.
helping us. She went through,
No.
she got through, right? She got
Yeah.
through,
But she also came back.
but she
That's the
came back.
whole
But she
thing.
got,
She
yeah.
came
But what
back.
else? But what else do I say before I go in the tree? I said, well, I mean, I say, like, well, what you have done. Well, I said, well, I wouldn't have taken a day trip to the park. I would have gotten,
Yeah.
and I say, look, I'm going to go out and I'm going to get help and get you guys
Right.
back, right?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I mean, from the innocence of what people know, that it's, but the viewers, it's easy to forget that, like, but these people in the town, they go, what? There's a tree you can go through, and she got through. She got back
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
she just
Yeah.
screwed it, it's like, but okay, well, let's figure this out.
I I was a
And he
little.
always wanted to help, right? He
He,
always wanted to help. He's
Yeah.
misunderstood. I just saying this earlier. When he's sitting on the stairs in season 1, the party scene, and the blood drips on his hand. He's talking about, if they just listen to me, I could help, right? Nobody will
Yeah.
listen to me. And then
Yeah.
Smiley looks over the banister, but right?
He was eager to listen to you.
Yeah,
a lot of
I think
things.
you want to do a little more than listen.
Well, how
Yeah.
was that? Going back to that season 1 scene, everybody was like, it sounded like all the cast sounded like they were just so pumped to see that one drop. How is it to see Smiley for that first time and the whole chaos of it all as an actor?
It was interesting actually because the looking up, they kept switching who was looking over the balcony because I think they hadn't decided yet. And then of course Smiley just, Smiley happened. Right?
And then,
They're going like, no,
Yeah.
it's gotta be Smiley, right? But because at one time it was a girl, right? Might have been the girl that had the keys. I think it might have been her, but I'm not
Yeah.
sure. You know what I mean? Like it was there. I can't remember exactly who it was because it was a few years ago. But yeah, and then it's like no. I think they had ideas of who was going to be, but it was cool though because then we had to run through the house and we got run past the cameras like in panic and everybody's panic and there was tons of people that day. It was pretty wild.
So one of
That
our favorite theorists asked is, do you think the numbers in the bottles and the trees mean anything?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
He says, I wonder what they think. I think they mean. I don't know. Well, Jade thinks they're dates, right?
Right.
And he has a reason to think that, right?
Yeah.
Because he
Yeah.
keeps seeing
But
all these freaky people all the time.
From past times, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Here's the thing, right? After this episode, I don't know what's happening because I didn't read anything after this, and I didn't ask Lizzie. Even when I was doing the show, I didn't. I would only ask if I wouldn't read episodes that I wasn't in, but I'd only ask if I felt like should I be knowing something here? Then she'd say, "Oh, by the way, that is about this that was brought up there." Because
yeah.
because I'm a fan of the show, I don't want to know. I want to watch be like you guys, right? So I try to only know what I need to know.
Right.
So anyway, so what happens after this, I don't know. So all I can say is I know everything you guys know.
Well, that's
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
because we don't know.
So
we don't
the
know
numbers.
squat.
So the numbers with about Jade, right? And he's, there's the guy with a spike in the eye. That's from a certain time period. There's all this
Yeah.
stuff. So I can understand why he thinks they're dates. I don't know if they are. I'm not sure, but the 26. What was it? 26.
It was 2569, and I'm
Oh yeah.
looking at it like, all right, so 2-5, there's a 3-number difference, right? Then one number from 5 to 6, and then 6 to 9, there's 3 again. So I'm like, okay, so that would mean it would be 10 and then 13, 14. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
No.
is there a pattern? Or is it the
Oh yeah.
25th, the 25th day of whatever month in
Mm-hmm.
69? So is it
2659.
1600,
There it is.
17, 18, 1900?
Yeah. If that's the date, if that's a date, 2659, that is it Terran? Is that how you
Taryn. Yeah.
Terran
Or
says
is
if
it
the date is 2659, then this is gonna be a long running series.
yeah. Now I have
Well,
to
I
go
hope
back
it
to
is for
No,
your
but if
wife's
that's the
sake.
date, that means like this town's gonna go till hundreds of years.
Yeah.
I mean, it did obviously if you're seeing colony people and all, or not colony colonialists or whatever.
Yeah, no, I know. And that was the other thing. You know, we're speculating, is there another group that died that was in those colonial type houses? Were they slave quarters? Were they
They
were the
weren't slave quarters. Those were not slave quarters.
okay. Um
Didn't look like that. I just thought it was a little village that needed
Yeah,
attention.
I was thinking
yeah,
Scarlet Letter, but that's my own thing.
yeah. I mean, that's what it looks like. It's Scarlet Letter, but
And were the
um,
They had scarlet rocks.
okay.
No, I'm kidding. Remember when he was taking a leak out in the
Yeah, I know with the
yeah,
red.
Hey, oh,
yeah.
So so how fun was it working with David? Because it just seems like he's because we've never had him on the podcast. Well, hopefully we're going to be interviewing him in a couple of weeks. But he seems like he's like crazy fun to be with.
he's a great. Oh, I loved working with him. We talked a lot about cooking.
Really?
but I did. But no, I loved working with him. I was glad that we got scenes together because we're both kind of the smart asses and the like we both annoy people and have little quippy funny one-liners and all that stuff. I mean, other people do too, but it was nice having the two with the attitudes
Yeah.
working off each other. It was a blast. He's a great guy, really great guy, and a fantastic actor. So it was a blast.
Yeah,
Really
one
great.
of these days we're going to get him on here. That's the goal. Lizzie, do you have anything? Because I've been hogging it.
So, why do you think it was Dale? Not, yeah, Dale. That was. Wait a minute. I'm kidding. Yeah, Dale. Why do you think it was Dale out of everyone in the town? Why do you think it was Dale that was like, I am getting out of here? Because he makes a stand in the diner in front of everybody.
Mhm.
And he obviously followed Tabitha and Jade out to that tree. Why do you think it was him?
Because it's been building that he's wants to help and nobody will listen to him. I think also because he's stubborn. He's a bit of a know-it-all. So to and he's not afraid to speak his mind. So in the town, him speaking up, he gets into it. And I mean, he's obviously he tends to lose his patience sometimes. I think, you know. So I think it probably that, and also, but I think it really stems from because he has from season one has always wanted to help. He's
Yeah.
saying, "Look, I can do something."
But
You know,
you think he had his chance before Boyd was there?
before Boyd was there, we were hiding in holes.
True.
Yeah.
We were like every night we go, there was a little bit when we were in that hole there was
Yeah,
like
no, I remember. And then you were with Boyd and his wife and Ellis and
yeah
Donna.
yeah they
Um,
that's what they showed up. We were in the hole. Kotri grabbed them, put it in the hole, brought the family into the hole,
Yeah.
and with Donna and I and Kotri, right?
yeah.
So we were just like hiding in holes at the time.
Oh my God.
We
If that was real, I just couldn't imagine what that would have been like. If that was like real,
Mhm,
you're
mhm,
driving and then you're in a hole with three strangers that look
yeah.
seemingly normal, you
Yeah.
know?
Well,
Do you know
yeah.
how so that means Dale was there longer than Donna. Do you know how long?
I don't know who was there first between Donna and Dale. I'm not sure, but they were probably closer around the same time. I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. They're
So why do
obviously
you think they didn't get together?
because
Because she wanted to punch him more than she wanted to kiss him.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think maybe. Well, I have a feeling that Donna's not necessarily interested at the moment, and or there in getting in a relationship, especially not with an idiot like me. You know.
Which
Yeah. She's
incidentally,
gonna miss you.
I think she's been with this idiot for over 30 years, right? Didn't you just have an
Yeah.
anniversary?
No,
Yeah,
no.
I say that to my
Yeah,
wife
and, you know,
every
like,
single day.
I like also, like, not everybody has to be in a relationship, and also,
Yeah.
she's got a lot, because Donna kind of running Colony House and that, she got a lot of things on her mind. Last thing she needs is
Yeah.
me breathing down her neck.
But
Yeah.
I will say this. I think it was in season 2 because I was actually, when I was putting this together, I was seeing your greatest hits, so to speak. And again, folks that are just joined us, we're speaking with Cliff Saunders, aka Dale. You made very good points. Honestly, there was no food.
Mhm.
They were doing exactly what you said what they were doing, which was
Yeah.
moving food around, and all that kind of stuff. It's just really surprising. You did have value. It was just you were in the right church, maybe the wrong pew.
Yeah.
If that's fair to say.
And also sometimes it's harder to kind of take annoying people seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You're just
so
wanting them to shut up
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah.
you know?
Uh,
So
and also, but I mean, you think about it. Um, I didn't get put in the box, right? Everyone
right.
thought, "Is he going to be put in a box?" And it's in the script. They're asking, is he going to be put in a box? I didn't. Uh, but and Donna, Donna, there was a scene with Donna and I in the room, and I said, I'm not wrong about that. And also, I even admit that that um, Ellis is he's not a bad kid and all that stuff, but
Yeah.
all that stuff. But she's trying to figure out what you're gonna do with me, because we have history. We go way back, and
Yeah.
I think the only reason he's not in the box is because of Donna.
Yeah.
And
I was
maybe,
Yeah.
but also, I think also, and because of Boyd doesn't want to, he doesn't want to have to do that again.
No. So why do you think they're so upset with the police officer? And the reason I say this is, and we're going to get into this. Like she shoots Nikki, and in this
By
episode
accident.
by accident, but in Colony House, they strap you down for 24 hours before you even get released because they're worried that something's going to happen to you.
Mhm.
Nikki opens the window or the shade, the cop's just reacting, and then in this episode, Boyd's like, I'm not here to protect you. I'm just here to, and it's like, wait a second, where's the love here? Because
Yeah,
I
but
just
sorry.
no, please
She
go.
was
But
actually shooting at the college professor. The college professor was standing between her and the house. Nikki looked out the window at just the wrong moment that
Right.
she, because she shot in that direction.
Yeah, I seem to recall that she said, and the window opens. She sees somebody and just shoots because she's freaked out.
Of
You know,
course.
Yeah.
she's freaked out. It was interesting, also, the whole thing with cops, being scared and shooting. But anyway, that's a whole other thing. That's nothing. But yeah, I think it was that. Yes, of course, it was like you come into this world, you go like, you don't know. But it's the people in the Colony House, I think. Yeah, why were they upset with her? I think because she shot one of theirs.
No, I
But
get
I
it. I
think
get
with the
it.
Boyd though, but with Boyd, he said that stuff, but then you saw him afterwards, right? You saw him dealing with what he just said, and you could tell. I mean, Harold's such a good actor that suddenly you saw him going. See, it's going like, why did I say that? I know, like you saw it all in his look, and he didn't have any lines there. He spoke up against her because he was upset. He was, losing control, all this kind of stuff, and he didn't want to kind of. And she's coming in, and I think because he's lost control, and she's coming up on her first day to have this big answer, right? Which is good advice and all that, but he's just he's tried stuff before, and things aren't working for him. I think so. He's just like pissed off, and but you saw it was his look after the just went like he he said that because some kind of slight logic, but you knew he didn't believe it.
Well, we do have one thing, and then I'll let Lizzie so she can get in front of me.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm glad you're
Uh,
watching.
We would love. This is actually kind of something neat. If the writers wrote in, like, instead of a Father Kotri Boyd situation, a Donna Dale situation.
Yeah,
That would
yeah,
be kind of neat.
yeah. I know you,
Just
and
to piss her
yeah, I
off.
think a lot of people are saying that too. That would be fun. Yeah, sure. I don't
Yeah,
mind.
sure.
Dale.
So that being said, I'm going to let her, get in front of me so I don't get in
Okay.
trouble.
So, all right. So when Dale comes up to the tree, or just before Dale comes up to the tree, we've got Tabitha and Jade at the tree.
Mhm.
Jade is trying to pull down bottles, and Tabitha is looking at the pieces of paper inside the bottles, and they can't, figure out what the deal is. Tabitha is just like, it's not a date. And Jade, rightfully so, is saying they're numbers. They mean something. It's not just random stuff, unless it's there to drive him crazy, um, or to really make his analytical mind go nuts. But here's the thing. Now, Christine said, Christine in the chat group said something, to this effect, and I'm just adding on. I was thinking the same thing. So they've pulled down the bottles, in a sense, could have disrupted the balance of the tree, because the bottles are no longer there,
Mhm.
and they have some purpose that they're hanging there. So Dale comes up and he's packed and ready to go. And there's a couple of things at play here. Dale wants to get in, thinking that automatically he's just going to go right home. Like they,
Oh, I
you
think
know,
for the lighthouse.
Tabitha, yeah, yeah.
But yes.
Tabitha ended up in Camden, nowhere near Arizona where they went disappearing from. So, he has no real idea where he's going to pop out on the other side. He could end up in Siberia for all we know.
Mhm.
So he takes a chance and goes into the tree. And perhaps because the tree had been disrupted and disturbed, he didn't go anywhere, out of from, but he ends up in the pool. And the plan all along was, once people found out where that tree was, like, maybe only certain people are meant to find the tree. But once he found out where the tree was, the powers that be in from had to make him an example and have him be trapped in the pool, like in like this awful, awful scenario where he can see what's going on. He knows he's trapped in the wall of the pool and he can't go anywhere. And, you know, Boyd pulls out his gun. He's going to put you out of or put Dale out of his misery, but he kind of, like, he can't do it. But on top of it, Dale dies right then and there.
Mhm.
Like, and it looked like he was being crushed somehow,
I'm a little
because
mad at
like
Boyd
blood.
right now. Because if I saw you in that situation, honest to God, I want to, like, start picking the rocks
I don't know
around
why they didn't start
and
trying
they're
to,
all
like, break
watching
the
you.
wall.
I got concrete. I'm like infused in concrete. I think it's just
Yeah,
like,
Oh, were you? I see. I didn't notice that part of
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
yeah. And I
I
um,
think
think
it's
that's
kind of
why he
almost
was.
in my like part of my mouth, all that stuff. Yeah, it's since I'm part of the concrete. Yeah, I think
Yeah.
that it's infused. Yeah, but yeah, I
You
know.
know,
Yeah.
in the 40s, when I think it was the 40s, it was, or sometime during the Cold War, the Navy was doing research, and they were trying to make ships invisible. And I can't recall the name of the actual ship. And, whether or not this is true or not, who knows? But they made this one ship invisible for like a couple of seconds, and it was full of sailors. when it came back and was no longer invisible and was visible, there were sailors embedded into the steel. And that's what it reminded me of, or what Dale reminded me of, being embedded into that pool wall.
Yeah.
All I know is that's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Some people like to swim in the ocean. I like to swim in a pool.
The Manhattan Project in Philadelphia, was it that?
That was the bomb.
Manhattan had to do with the bomb, so I
The
don't
bomb.
think, but it was in Philadelphia. Now, Christine, I don't know.
That's really now I want to check that out.
The other question I have
I
is
know. If you listen to paranormal, like podcasts or whatever, that story will come up every so often. And I've heard it. Yeah, Christina's saying from Philly, and she still lives there. Apparently, she wasn't on that ship unless she's stuck
Thank
in a
God.
wall. And Daphne is saying that she didn't expect you to end up in the pool. That was so genius to put you in the pool wall, because
you,
it
Daphne.
totally discourages everybody from wanting to get into that tree.
Yeah.
It was
Well,
that was
no,
just
exactly.
exciting.
When it happens, I mean, it's exactly, that's the whole. I mean, there's a few things that the From world in this episode has done that is going to kind of dictate
Change.
how they, what's his name's face, right? And they say
Yeah.
it's so that we're reminded in the daytime. We pretend in the day
Yeah.
that we're just living a normal life, and now we got a reminder that no, we're not. And
Yeah.
so there's that, and now the thing with, and they put me in the pool right there, but that he has to go. Okay, everybody, you can't just go in the tree. If you want to go in the tree, look, this is what
Don't
This
happened.
could happen.
Like, and he
You know-
says, because he tried to warn us, right? And but
Yeah.
I'm going like, I mean, we're going like, come on. But he said, I went in one of those trees and I ended up in a well in the ground or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but we're kind of going, yeah, but I'm going in the tree Tabitha went in, and I'm going to get to,
Yeah.
Right.
Because we
I
don't
mean-
know that he went into the same tree. I don't remember their bottles being there when he went into a tree.
Yeah, I think he should. I
It's-
think he says that it was a different tree, but that there's a tree. They do
Yeah.
say there is some trees out there that are different, right? Yeah.
Right, because him and Sarah went into it. And it just, I had this thought, like, do the monsters only want live meat, or would they come out and, make you an hors d'oeuvre? Like try to pick at you like a,
In the
like a
pool?
dip, a Dale dip.
We'll find out. We'll find out after the next episode.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but I just think that this year, especially, and I know your wife posted this on her Instagram. The FX have been unbelievable this year.
Mhm.
Like, the first season, you maybe saw one monster when in the box, and
Mhm.
now they're going into that. They're coming up with stuff that is crazy. I mean, when you read that and you're like, I'm in the wall, what were you thinking? Like, what the heck are they doing to me? And that's
Yeah, I know.
that's a great gag.
Yeah, well, I
Yeah.
was thinking, it's like, okay, they've given me a really cool. Yes, they're killing me, but they're giving me a cool death. It's like, this is
That was really cool.
yeah. People are going like, holy Jesus, what a way to go, and also memorable.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, this year we've lost you and Mrs. Lou and
Yeah.
Nikki, but
Yeah,
she was just mean.
Yeah, that's great. Didn't
Yeah,
they say there'd be a
We
lot
just
of
saw
depth?
Nikki was on. The character was on just before.
Yeah, she was
yeah.
on Tamara and then the woman that plays Clara.
Clara. Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah. I just want to say, for anyone that ends up listening to this as a podcast, the experiment was called the Philadelphia Experiment. And I just emailed that to you, Cliff, so that
Oh,
you can
great.
look at it later.
Thank you.
And I'm trying to scroll up to see who told us that, but I can't.
So did they tell your wife that you were dying to get the reaction more authentic, or did she know?
No, she knew. She's just
Okay.
a good actress.
Right.
But, yeah, I know that's she's just that good.
Yeah.
I loved her reaction, in there.
It
I
seemed
yeah.
like Donna was into Dale at that moment,
No,
like
we
she was gonna
everything
miss him.
oh, yeah, well, you could have, yes, I'm a pain, but we go way back. We go to
Right.
the we're hiding in
Yeah.
holes together. We go
Yeah, for
way
a long time. Yeah. So
yeah.
Christine Jellybean is the one that shared that with us. So, thanks,
Mhm.
Christine.
There you
Um,
go.
Christine.
and you're welcome, Taryn. Um, let's see. So, crap, what the heck was I gonna ask? I'm so
No,
sorry.
you're the one that's got the question.
I know, I've got
You're a
them all.
well-oiled machine, you just like From is, as you can tell, Cliff.
So,
No,
do you
Yes,
know what Dale's backstory was? Like, where was he coming from, and like how where he was when he
he was one of
landed
those
there?
it would have, been like an accountant, not an exciting accountant. He would have been a going concern, probably drove everyone nuts in the office, always, you know what are they doing? What are they doing? What are they
Yeah,
you know? I would say he had a very kind of, very non-eventful life, and, it's interesting that he chose Colony House to live, because he's going like it's the party scene as it were or whatever. It kind of a chance for him to reinvent himself, even though you still have your
yeah,
traits, right? But I would
yeah,
say that Dale was, you know, not a not a fun person to be. Well, maybe he was, but he's just like, you know, judgmental and, you know, always looking to see what other people are doing.
no, absolutely, yeah, he's like, "Get off my lawn" kinda guy, but he wants to know
Yeah,
whether
but
he wants to be part of the
get off
party,
my
but no one
yeah,
lawn.
wants to with him.
yeah. But then, so he tried to, I think, kind of tries to reinvent himself for a bit, going to Colony House, and I think that's my take on it.
That's great.
Otherwise, why would Dale be at Colony House, right? He's just like,
Yeah,
he's wearing the necklaces because if
yeah,
you see how I'm dressed, you see how I'm dressed when we come out of the hole, right? I got the vest and the
Yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah,
button up shirt, very non-assuming, beiges, a lot of beige, and then I put
yeah,
on a flowery shirt and a couple of necklaces, and wearing Converse sneakers.
You're just hip.
yeah,
You're just a hip guy.
I'm trying to be
Um,
hip.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
so
Went from
what's
dip
next
to
for
hip.
you? What's next for you, Cliff? What else you got on the fire in terms of projects these days?
Um, what do I have? Uh, been kind of involved in some develop like they're developing some new plays and all that up here, and so I've been kind of helping out with that a bit. And what do I? Don't have anything particular, do I? Sometimes I say this, I go, "Yeah, I got nothing." And I go, "No, wait a minute, I got a play
Well, I know
You
coming
got
up."
all this.
you guys are up for an award for your your billionaire oil
Oh, big
thing.
oil, yeah, yeah. That
Yeah, big
was
oil.
fun. That
Yeah.
Liz and I did that together. That was fun. That was a fun one.
I saw that you guys got you guys are at the Baltimore Film
Oh, yeah.
Festival or something.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I I
Well,
I I think she posted something. I know she's on top of it.
yeah,
Uh,
I know I'm really bad with social media. I feel like I wanna kind of do stuff, but I'm so, yeah, I'm not very good with the
that's
social
okay.
media.
Hey, you know what? That's why you have a wife that knows how to do it.
Yeah, yeah,
and
exactly.
and but like you said, you came on memorable and you've left memorable, so we're just really glad that we got to talk to you, as well as talk to the boss, so to speak, the last time we got to speak. And I think, I'm looking at all these things. Everybody loves you. you know
They love to hate me.
Love Dale, even
Oh,
though he was he was
there we go.
irritating.
Thank you,
You know,
Nikki. Nikki.
he's great on the show. You know,
Thank
I
you.
mean, it's just really neat because, like we were saying to the ladies before, you, as you all know, being a career actor, you don't need a lot of lines to be considered, you know, iconic.
Yeah.
Smiley proved that, as
Mhm.
well as Jasmine proved that in here, you know, on
Yeah.
this show. But like I said, all the characters, that's the problem. You know, it's like, who's going to die? And we're like, we don't want anybody to die. And I
Yeah.
think
Yeah.
coming out with Liz Moy's character, Mrs. Lou, having her die right off the bat, it's a different world. The writers are
I
really
hated that. I
Really
hated that.
Oh, I bet everybody hated that. Nobody saw that
Yeah.
coming.
I mean, nobody
No.
saw that coming, and I mean, we were all on
Hated
the
it.
internet with the trailer. Is it Tabitha? Is it this person? Is it that
Yeah.
person? And then
Yeah.
we saw the plate
That
on
was
the
it.
trailer. We saw the plate on the trailer when
Uh-huh.
everybody was doing the memorial service, and you know, it kind of sealed it for us. But I know.
You figured it out.
Yeah, Lizzie asked this question of the ladies before. How was it in the diner with that whole? Everybody was in that diner, and that was probably one of the first times that there was so many of the cast members in one place. I
Yeah.
mean, how was that? I mean, was that kind of neat, or
Yeah.
you know, just getting to see everybody?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It was excellent. Well, the two kids were smoking dope in the basement, the colony house. Other than
Well,
that,
we're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Of course,
Yeah.
of course, you have to point that out, Dale.
Yeah.
But no, it was it was great. It was great being around everybody, and I mean, the scene was great because, well, I had, I was one of the kind of more involved people in the scene, so everybody's involved, but I had my share.
You had the big
Definitely.
stand. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was kind of the protagonist, I guess, in that scene. So it was fun for me.
Oh, of
And,
course, of
it
course.
was just fun seeing everybody. And Robert Joy, I worked with him years ago in a movie. We went to Germany and also we went. And Halifax. We shot it in Germany and Halifax. But so I remember working with him and then seeing him when I was doing theater and on Broadway, and he was there doing a play too. So it's bumped into him there. So it was really great seeing him. Now on this show. He's a great guy, excellent, and
Well,
fantastic.
yeah, we had a chance to interview him, and you don't realize, like, when you're doing your homework. I mean, he's been in everything.
Oh,
His career is just like,
Yeah.
I mean,
I
Desperately
know
Seeking
that guy.
Susan.
I know that face. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like Desperately Seeking Susan, Water World. I mean, it's like
Mm.
your whole childhood is like going in front of you,
Yeah.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
But
Mhm.
it's neat how they really have embraced the community, meaning like the Nova Scotia actors. They've really had a lot of background, and I just find it fascinating, and I can't wait to get myself up there one of these days. We
Oh,
got as close as Maine, but we didn't get over the border.
Where
'Cause
are you? Where are you at?
I live in New Jersey.
Oh,
So
okay.
I
I'm
live
sorry to hear
right
that.
outside-
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I'm kidding. Jersey.
Jersey.
Archie
So
Bunker. God,
it's funny.
Jersey,
It's
yeah.
funny because my mom, she's from Brooklyn, and every time
Oh.
she used to talk to my grandmother, she would talk to her every Saturday, and she'd be like, "I'm like, oh, you talk to grandma? Yeah, how'd you know? Because she started talking like she's from Brooklyn, you know." And
That accent comes back. Yeah.
it comes back really easy. It comes back
Yeah.
so easy, and but yeah, no. Hopefully, we can get you guys when you guys are in New York or in this area. We are really hoping. I know Lizzie is that you guys are going to start doing the Comic-Con scene, like just
Yeah.
not just California, but all the other type of stuff, because we feel like we know all of you, and I know we don't, but within reason. And it's just like, Liz was one of our first. She was our first interview, so
Oh, wow. Yeah.
she was the one that responded first, and so whatever the queen wants, we let her. Whatever she wants, it's always yes. So,
Yeah. Queen Bee.
hey,
Yes.
she has proven, and I've said this, and I know I've said it in front of her, but I also say it to you. Obviously, Harold and Katrina have done a great job, but your wife should be right with them with all those nominations, and
Yeah.
so should Scott, and they're killing it. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's just a
we,
matter of time. It really is just a matter of time.
I
Yeah.
mean, and nothing would make me happier to say I knew her when.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, but no, I mean, I want to thank you so much, Cliff, you
Well,
for taking your time. I know you had to go through like the car wash with a bunch of different shows today, and we
yeah.
really appreciate you taking the
All right.
time.
Yeah.
And
No.
Lizzie, do you have any other things that you want to grill him on?
At the moment, no, but I know I'm gonna have a half a dozen afterwards. Like as
Cliff,
soon
I don't
as
want to
we're
keep you
off.
because I know it's late. I know it's late. Thank you so
Yeah.
much for taking the
You're
time, and we will talk to you
Thank
soon. And
you.
hopefully, when you're the ghost of Cliff, when you're the ghost of Dale's past, we'll have you back on, or you're always welcome on. Okay,
Well, thank you very much,
That's
and it's a
okay.
pleasure seeing you again.
you got
It
it,
was
and
so
give our best
wonderful.
to
Thank
Liz.
you.
Okay.
I will. I will.
All right.
And
We'll see you
enjoy the
soon.
baby.
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's so
I
great
can see
Yeah.
it
having
right
you.
there. The best part of the day.
Yeah.
Better
Yeah.
than
Yeah.
better than dying. It's always
Yeah.
good to see the grandbaby.
For sure.
All right, we'll see
Yep.
you later. Thank you so much. It's Cliff Saunders, and there he goes through the hole.
Oh gosh. Oh my God, such a treat.
Oh my God, he's too much.
I
And
loved him.
all he has to do is just get out of here, go through the hole, press the button, and he's done. That's all he has to
Yeah.
do. Um,
Yeah.
but wait, let me just I'm just gonna kick him out, even though he's in.
Oh.
No, you
I,
just have to hold on. Cliff, all you have to do is just exit out.
or kill the page.
There you go. I just want to make sure he got out. So, folks, thank you so much for your patience on that. I know this was we got a little sidetracked, but we still
Yeah.
got some stuff to do, and I knew this was going to happen, but we have to talk about a bunch of different things.
Yeah, like we need to talk about some highlights from this episode. We covered the tree.
We did cover the
Um,
tree.
but
Um,
the other big thing is Victor reuniting with his dad.
absolutely.
And how emotional was that? Like, um, now I can't remember where I saw it, but Scott had been interviewed. Wait a minute. I know where I saw it. It was our interview with
Hello.
Scott this week. Hello. And he was talking about this scene and how he wanted to play it, and that there was precious little written on the script for
Right.
this scene. And I think it was just the one line with no direction whatsoever. And he just worked it out, that he and Robert Joy just worked it out. And it was so amazingly touching. Um, like, Henry looks at Victor and he's like, that's my son. That's my grown son. And, for Victor seeing his father, as an elderly man, because Victor is on the cusp of being elderly himself.
Well,
And
no,
here they are.
Victor looks worse than his father. I
Well, yeah,
mean,
with good reason.
no, I'm just
Um,
saying it was just like, holy cow. And then when you
yeah,
see Scott, he's so young. I mean, he's our age. I mean,
yeah,
he's in his 50s. And
yeah,
when you look at what they did to him, I mean, like I said before earlier in the podcast, I had a hard time with that, and it wasn't in a bad way. It's just I just had a hard
yeah,
time with the fact that I lost my dad when I was very young. So if I had a
yeah,
chance or he had a chance to see what I am, I know I would be. I don't know if I'd want to meet him because I'm not the person that I
yeah.
would want. I might not be the person that you know.
Alex, Your
why?
dad would be
No, but
so
no,
proud.
I'm not, I don't mean it like that. I'm just saying those are the kind of emotions that you have to
Yeah,
think about when
you think
when
about it,
you
yeah.
haven't seen someone. I mean, I totally understand. At the time when I was watching this episode, I didn't understand it, but I love how Sarah really kind of works through the whole thing with him. Because
I
again, what
know.
is she? She's the scariest person from.
I know, and it has turned out to be like this tender little relationship between them. It's Victor is very honest, by saying that to her. You're the scariest person. I mean, some people would be like, "Oh, I'm the scariest person. You haven't seen it," you know? But we think about how Victor has gone through these 3 seasons. Like, the first season, he was paired up a lot with Ethan. Then last season, he was paired up with Tabitha, and now his buddy is Sarah.
Right.
Um, so it's just it's almost like Victor is going through stages in his life by who is he best paired up with at this
Now,
point,
I have
because
a question for the people still listening. And there's a lot of people still on there. And folks, I want to thank you so much because we're
yeah.
going a little bit later than we normally are. But and we're talking season 3, episode 5, the light of day. And you know, do you think Victor will actually mature in the show? Now that his father is back, meaning that he's got this rock that he had before, and yes, there's going to be some ups and downs, but do you think that he might have a chance to um not
Age more into an adult.
yeah, I'm saying
Because
mind. I'm saying
yeah,
mind,
like that mind,
not
yeah.
body, clearly.
Because it was interesting watching his dad inspect the room,
Yeah.
like, it was the room, some of it was confusing, but most of it was a young boy. Victor hadn't gotten past that, and that painting that was like this, and it was white? Like, that you finally if, you're about to be reunited with your son, and you see something he's created, and it's terrifying, you know? Now that his dad is back, there will be some maturing, but he's still gonna be a kid. That part of him will always be there because of the trauma he's been through. I agree, John, I was just looking for you. Um,
And Mary said
he is
something.
stunted. Yeah, he's stunted. I think he's already started to mature, especially thanks to Tabitha. So yeah, definitely he'll get some peace and will be more connected to reality. Um,
I think
I
also,
I don't know how anyone connects to reality there.
I
So
think, wait,
Victor
before we
will
get to her, before we get to Julie,
yeah,
I think the fact that there's actual people other than just the boy in white, it's gonna
yeah,
make it more mature.
yeah,
Uh,
he has more people to talk to, right. Victor will forever be stuck in a state of arrested development emotionally, still a child in a man's body due to the extreme trauma. Having his dad there will help him process the trauma a bit. I agree with that. I do think that it would be unrealistic to expect him to all of a sudden be this man,
oh no, I don't
after,
think that's the case. I just think that
you know,
there's gonna be something that he's got to get more mature, just by
yeah.
happenstance. And it was a
Church is
beautiful.
saying that he has an opportunity to be happy. Like, have we seen him smile? I don't think we've ever seen him smile. Not once.
Maybe once.
I don't
I think
know.
maybe he laughed once. Oh wait, let's see what Daphne has to say. I think his dad is going to wait. What is this? Can you
Be
just read this
going
one?
through his own changes too.
Yeah.
Oh my
Okay.
gosh, this place will change him, but Victor will be able to work with him. What if they kill his dad right away?
I will say
Because
I don't know if I can deal with that
yeah,
because that's just what that's beyond mean.
yeah,
That's beyond mean. Like you know
yeah.
what? Like I don't even want to. I don't want to think about that. Like, and
Okay.
I'm not gonna lie. If that does happen, I have to really like that's gonna be no, I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah. All
Um,
right. So, um, let's
do you want to go
see.
backwards a little bit? Because we
Yeah.
uh we need
So
to talk.
I tried to minimize my notes a little bit
Okay.
this week. What were you going to say?
No, I was gonna say, do you want to go back to Colony House while everybody was doing the big meeting?
Um,
I think
yeah,
we
I
should.
mean, yeah, Julie is trying to escape for her demons, or rather, um, escape the screaming that she constantly hears. And apparently, marijuana dulls that, and she doesn't hear it so much. So her and Elgin get high, and then they go down to do the dress up montage in the basement. And I can't help it. Anytime we go back in time with something, I'm always wondering, is that period correct? And I remember, I was a kid in the 80s. I was in high school. I don't remember scrunchies. I don't remember scrunchies until late 80s. So, I mean, I was in high school in the early 80s and then young. I don't remember when scrunchies came around, but I do remember that was quite a thing.
Well, wait, I know we have a couple of people of that ilk, like that are Gen
From that
Xers.
generation?
I know, yeah, scrunchies are very 80s. Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I knew Daphne. Daphne and I are the same age, but being a boy versus a girl is a completely different world
What,
going
you
on.
weren't wearing scrunchies?
I
Um,
wasn't because my hair just wasn't long enough.
yeah. Well, whose fault is that?
My
You
dad's,
could have grown
because
it
he
out.
told us you can have long hair as long as it's short, high, and tight. Um, so, but I thought that was really kind of neat that they had their little moment together, and I think it's
Yeah.
so great that the teenager is smoking pot. They're smoking
Yeah.
bowls, and they're hopefully they get a little munchies, and it'll be great.
They don't have tons of food at the moment to have the munchies, but
Well, they have a lot of rotten food, and
yeah,
if Fatima has anything to say about it, you know,
yeah,
um,
hands off.
yeah,
So, I guess,
clinic.
yeah, let's jump over to the clinic. All I really have to say, we know that Randall's getting taken care of over there, and it kind of surprised me that for 1 second, Boyd thought he could jump in and help out, help Marielle take care of Randall. Um, Boyd made the choice and is now being torn up about it.
See,
Kenny
wait,
tells, huh?
I have a problem with this.
What?
Again, this really pisses me off. It's like I understand Randall was pissed off, and he has every reason to be
Yeah,
upset. But Boyd is not helping his case. He should have said what happened. Meaning, he should have said the lady said you can
he
keep the
can't save
keys,
them
but
all.
we're taking Randall. Like,
Yeah.
not that he had no choice, but
He
it
did
was his.
he didn't try. He didn't try to do anything for
But
Randall,
he had no choice. You can't beat a monster.
Oh,
What was
I
he
don't
supposed to
wanna
do?
think
What's he supposed
that.
to do? Take the ambulance and run them all over? Okay, maybe he could have done that.
Yeah, I mean, Randall would have just had to go flat. Hopefully, you would have seen that in time, but, the way Randall was squirming around down there because of the cicadas, who knows?
What were they?
The cicadas.
Okay.
Cicadas.
We should
Well,
actually make a
anyway,
shirt. Cicadas.
cicadas.
From Boston.
Um, from Boston, Boston cicadas. Um, so he has a conversation with Kenny about the food, that they brought a lot back, but there's still more back at those cabins. And I'm like, but Kenny's point was that we heard something out there while we were out there. There is definitely something out there. That's
Right.
twice now. All right. So going from there, over to the Matthews house, um, Jade drops by, like they're getting reacquainted with Tabitha now that she's back. They don't really get much of a chance to talk about anything. Um, and Jade does his Jade thing, and he is always busting into their house wherever they live. Jade always comes in. This is like the third time he's come in like he is on fire.
I
And
love this scene.
I love the whole dynamic, period, you know? Um, so Jim is, let's see, is like,
Jim's there.
there's
He's
nothing
talking. He's
seen
talking to
out there.
Tabitha. All of a sudden, Jade walks in, and he's like, "We gotta go." He
You
starts
gotta go to
talking
the
to
tree.
Jim, and then they start talking about the tree, and he's like, "It had numbers. Like, don't you think it would have been an important little fact that you might
Yes.
want to
Yeah.
tell somebody?" And
Well,
then,
that's the thing. He's got that mind. He's got the problem-solving mind. So those numbers are important because
everything is
numbers
important.
mean something. Um, and
And then they're gonna go
so
to the meeting, and he says the greatest line of any time to um Simon.
Ethan,
Ethan. Oh, sorry, Ethan. If there's more than three people at a meeting, no, it's a waste of time.
it's a
And then
waste of
when they
time.
come
It's so
back,
true. It's so
but
true.
when
Yeah.
they come back, oh, it really wasn't that good. And he looks at, see, kid. No,
Yep.
but I mean,
Yeah.
it was a joke.
But it's true. Like anyone that's worked in an office, there's more than three people there, nothing gets done, I swear. But Jim, Jim is trying to say, we're not going to go out in the woods for this tree. There's nothing to see there. And Jada's like, what? The magic tree?
I know,
Like
right?
the tree is magic? So the important thing is like anytime Tabitha now takes a walk, there could be someone following her to find out where that tree was. And, we know that did happen with Dale, but
She reminds me of
Jim has
Harry
got to
Potter.
tell her, you are only showing him where the tree is. She's like, I'm only going to show him. I'm not going anywhere.
But she's kind of like
So,
Harry Potter right now. Like no matter where she goes, everybody wants to like be with him.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Like she's just doing stuff. Um, Julie, yeah, the meeting was unproductive. So over into the meeting though, Henry starts to explain everything, and I just started thinking, like, Henry starts to explain where they're going when Tabitha arrives. And the thing was, like, my question was, are the trees connected? And what I mean by that is that they're on their way to go to that bottle tree, the original bottle tree in the other town when the accident happens. So Miranda built two trees, and then
You,
there's more than
she
I
built
don't know if
three. There's three. There's one in From. There's the original one, and then there's the replica at his house.
she didn't build the one in front, did she?
I think she did. I'm almost 99% sure she built it.
No, I think that was the message she kept. That was all part of
That
like
was
the
part of her.
drawing,
Oh,
the
okay.
paintings and stuff. I think
I'm
it
gonna have
was
to go
just,
back. I'm gonna have to go back. I'm gonna
yeah,
have to,
we're gonna,
no, you
yeah,
could be right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
But
but
that said, there are three trees we know she did at least
that we
two.
know of, yeah. So, like I'm wondering if there's some connections because if Tabitha went through that tree, is that why she ended up in Camden? Because there was another tree in Camden that just happened to be where Henry was. And
Wait a second.
it,
There's two bottle trees in Fromville.
I think there are more than one. Yeah,
Okay.
I think
Well,
there
wait.
are
There's
more
the
than
one
one.
that there's the. I don't know.
I'm remembering another one because this
I
one,
thought it
I
might
don't
be
know
the
what
same
it,
one. That's why I thought it was
this
the same one.
seemed different. Yeah. Um, but I think it's because of the bottle tree that
All right,
Miranda built.
Julie brought to the table, that we don't know how many, and they don't know. But and then Mary is saying the one that Boyd and Sarah found. But the
Right,
thing is,
exactly.
I
That's
thought
why
that
I'm
was the
thinking,
same tree. I thought it was the same tree. But you know what, guys? Uh, It's
I don't
11:30
even
at
think we
night
really know.
here. It's 11:30 at night right here. So I don't even know what bottle I'm supposed to be drinking.
I'm just
Um,
thinking the bottle tree is why she ended up in Maine, in Camden, Maine. That's
right.
why I think, like, maybe you jump from bottle tree to bottle tree in a sense.
Who knows?
Um, so let's see. Um, Henry stuck up for Tabitha, saying he thought she was out of her mind because when they were talking about, why didn't Tabitha say something? I mean, if some woman came to us and was saying something like that, we would think she was nuts. I mean, how many times have we encountered someone that is a bit challenged? And me, I am challenged. I'll tell you that. And
Wait, oh, I'm doing this too. Folks, I'm also doing this too. We're both challenged. We're special
but
ed, all right?
I know, but the thing is, both Miranda and um, the only reason that Henry realized that there was something more there, it wasn't a crazy lady, was because both Miranda and
Pictures.
Tabitha were talking about the children in the tower.
And I love
So
how he explains, well, he's like, well, we had kind of a different circumstance because of the pictures. But people, you have to remember, and we keep going back to this. The theme of this season is hope, right? I mean, let's just call it what it is. It's all
yeah, they
about
all hope
breaking hope
something.
or getting hope. That's always been with whether it's the radio or it's this or that. Right now, every little threat of hope has either killed somebody or whatever. It killed Dale. It killed Mrs. Lou because she tried to save. It's breaking Boyd, right?
Yeah,
Because he had to watch Mrs. Lou die. Plus,
yeah,
he's trying to get all these pieces together. No matter what he does, he keeps getting. It's like he's in quicksand right now.
yeah.
Um, so
Papa, yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah, I was
Papa,
reading some of, yeah, Papa Socks here, and like I haven't seen anything prior to either the 50s or 60s in that town, but other than Jade's hallucinations, that's it. That gives us any hint that things, could go further. So I wanted to point something out to you, Alex.
oh,
You often remark and complain that they never get together and just talk about what's going on.
no, you're right. No, and you know what? They did a lot of talking today.
And did you see how well that went?
Yeah, you know what? What do I know? Remember, more than three
Like, I
people.
was so happy for you. I was so happy for you getting that, like,
But
that
you know
screen
what? Even
time.
like you said, even when they did talk, because they're so running scared. No, I
Yeah,
still can't believe they don't believe all this craziness. Like Jade said, the magic tree.
the magic tree. Yeah. Yeah, I know. Like,
I mean, this
I
is
don't
this
think
is
they
a
want to.
that meeting was like the election this year.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like nobody's gonna win, everybody's gonna lose, and you're
yeah,
still back where you started. And I'm not here to
yeah.
make this a political thing. I hate
Yeah,
both
this
parties
isn't
right now
political. I can't
because of
even do any more political.
exactly.
So, my last thought, on the meeting is Boyd points out that she got out. It's
Right.
not that she got out and came back, it's just that she got out. And the thing about it is like, all right, so maybe other people could get out too, but look how quickly she came back. Like, you might not know, you could be out, you walk into Walmart, next thing you know, you are in downtown like, there's no guarantee if you get out, you will stay out.
Well, that's the thing
And
that they're not understanding is that she didn't try to come back. I mean, she tried to come back, but she had no idea how to get back.
How would
She
she
got
get
into a
back?
but I'm saying
Yeah,
she got into a
yeah,
car accident and she brought other people with her.
right, exactly,
Now, like you said,
exactly.
maybe the EMTs are pawns, right? The
They were
EMTs are
pawns, yeah. Because it's like Victor said, I didn't know how to get home. She didn't know how to get back. It was just she just ended up back. All right, so I'm gonna. Boyd has three conversations. One
okay.
with Ellis,
Yep.
where they're just I don't know. Boyd wants to know who can be risked, who could be sacrificed. And I was just thinking, like, Ellis was speaking from his youth. He's not thinking ahead, where his father is like, you can't just run in and do this. You have to think who's worth losing here. Who is so indispensable, you know? Then he has the conversation with Acosta, and he gives her crap about that, but basically he was talking out loud to himself. He's giving himself crap for having left Randall.
Yeah,
Like he
I
sticks
was
up
not
for
happy
her
with
in the
I was
diner.
not happy with that conversation.
No, no. I mean, he sticks up for her in the diner, so she's thinking we're simpatico. And she comes to him saying, use me. And he's like, no,
Go go
you
screw
know,
yourself.
go screw. Yeah, screw. You killed somebody. She didn't intentionally kill anybody, you
Right.
know? And then Bhakta, like, you brought it up, I think, last week that, Bhakta is spending a lot or giving a lot of attention to Boyd. And I'm like, I'm seeing
Pound
it
chicka pow
again.
wow.
I know. But Boyd still, like he's not over his wife. I don't think he's looking like I think that's the last thing on his mind.
No, but
Um,
you could wanna have some comfort.
yeah. And he goes on to the bus and he's looking at Randall's stuff, and Randall is quite the little whittler or carver or whatever. And I felt like he was trying to assuage himself of his guilt, you know?
Right.
But then she turns around and absolves him of his guilt, and she says she'll have his back next time. And I'm just like, I don't know. It's like she's trying to find her place in this town because she knows up at Colony House she is not number one, but she's looking to have some foothold of power or something. And Fatima tells Ellis what she's been dining on, but more importantly, that she's worried that something's wrong with the baby.
Right.
Um, oh, back to as a mole.
I
If
don't think
she's a
Bacchus is
mole,
mole.
If she's a
I don't
mole, she is really putting on a good show
I
for
don't
being
think
a
she's a
mole.
mole at all. I think that I really do believe that she is just a person that is trying to find her way in this world. Now
Yeah,
there is something that I do want to point out. Are you
yeah.
done with Boyd? Are you done with Boyd?
I'm done with Boyd.
Okay. Um, I do want to talk about a couple of other points. One, because I have this really nifty graphic, Sarah with the worms and Victor with
Yeah,
the peaches, that he never drew pictures of everything. Like that's why he had the suitcase, right? Remember he had the
yeah,
suitcase. And he didn't have anything from Christopher, which I know was the other episode, but
yeah,
I just find that really interesting. And the other thing that I found really interesting was, and this is a great point. So Ethan and Henry are walking down the street,
yeah.
and he notices to Ethan that there's a motel sign, but there's no
Yeah,
motel.
that's in my notes. Yeah.
And um, what's up with that? And
That's
I
got
think
to
that's
be, sorry.
no, I just think it's a valid
Well,
question.
it's got to be from some previous time. Or I'm saying it's got to be like I know. But I'm wondering if
Well, this is the answer. To just up
yeah,
and vanish.
yeah, it just vanished. Like, did it vanish? Like, did it sink into the ground? did something happen and it just, you know,
You know what?
and there's no debris like it blew up,
The monsters they didn't wanted something different. They were more about the
Yeah,
Airbnb houses.
yeah. But you know what? Yeah, maybe it was easier to put them in houses. I don't know, but we haven't seen the debris pile from the house, the Matthews house um
No, it's still
that
there. It's still there. It's just in the background.
yeah, I haven't seen it, but that could just be me. And back to the pictures, like Victor tells Sarah that he never drew pictures of his dad.
Right.
Like he was only drawing pictures of what he experienced so that he wouldn't forget. And it was just like he was recording the history of that place.
Right.
And possibly because too painful to think about his dad. He'd
Well,
lost his mom and his sister. Um,
the only other thing that we haven't talked about
yeah.
is the conversation between Fatima and Ellis.
Oh, I did
Oh,
mention
okay.
that.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I,
That she thinks that something's wrong with the baby. It was,
right.
you know, if you're not dissecting the show, to do a podcast, that could have easily been a throwaway. It was such a short, quick scene. Like, I felt so bad for her coming clean like that. Um, yeah, like, having to just be like, I'm eating rotten produce. I'm eating things that worms eat. So,
Do you have any booms this week?
no booms.
Okay.
I didn't even have the feeling that I was gonna have a boom. We need some booms. Does anybody in chat have a boom?
Well, at 11:45 at night, I don't think anybody's got any booms.
I
Um,
wanna go boom
but
boom.
with that being said, we do have a piece of feedback from one of our A1 listeners that I do want to play because she actually saw the show um, before it was aired, and she doesn't have
She
screeners.
Maybe it just plays differently there.
We'll see. Let's hear from
I thought we got it
Jody.
first.
Let's hear
Yeah.
from Jody on the other side of the world.
Hi, Alex and Lizzie. Jody from Australia here, and it's Sunday from Day here. I've just finished watching episode 5, and I want to share a few thoughts. I'm not sure if I'll get it in time for the show, but still listening and loving you guys. First thing, Jade is fully channeling Lizzie in this episode, and I was so here for it. I could so hear you in everything he said, Lizzie. It was fantastic. Second thing, here's my recreation of my reactions to the whole town meeting thing. Oh, yay, town meeting. Oh, this is why they don't do town meetings. And finally, there was a lot of just exquisite emotion during this episode. Donna's face when she was listening to Victor's father was just so full of compassion and sympathy and understanding. And Victor's reunification with his father, it was just a lot of beauty and grace amongst some pretty horrific things this episode. But that's our show, and that's why we love it. Can't wait to hear what you guys thought of the episode. Bye.
We haven't heard from Jody
Yes.
in so long. I missed her.
But yeah, no, I think she makes some good points, and I think that we got a lot going on. And folks, if you
Yeah.
want to submit some feedback, you can always go to whatisfromcast@gmail.com and send us your feedback, whether it's audio. You can also go on to our we have a thing on our Buzzsprout where you can actually send a text message too.
Really?
Yeah. See, that's what
I
we're.
did not know that.
I know that. And also, folks, if you guys are interested, we've got our season 1 tribute poster. And what we're going to be doing probably in the next week or so, we're going to be doing a pre-order for our season 2. We're working with Kirk because he's at New York Comic Con right now in the time of this podcast. and hopefully we'll get some kind of sketch. But I'm going to tell you right now, it's going to probably look very similar to what you see right here, just with
Well, the
different.
style. Yeah.
But yeah, this style. But we're going to be doing season 2, and we're really looking forward to it. I know this is our thing, and I also want to thank everybody that has purchased them already. We also have things like our fromily shirts and our mugs, and didn't we sell a bunch of stuff this week?
We did. And Catherine, who I shouted out last week, I am picturing her. She ordered a fromily t-shirt and a fromily mug. And I'm like, she's gonna sit down and watch the episodes all dressed up. And now I'm like, now I need that outfit.
Absolutely. And again, hopefully you guys, if you want to see any of our stuff, you can go to our Etsy shop, and all you have to look at is what is from shop. Okay. And that's a great way you can support this podcast. We love doing it, but at the same time, any support is accepted, so to speak.
And I forgot to tell you, I did order some stickers and some
Yep.
bookmarks. I forgot to tell you I did that. So those are coming, guys.
And for those of you playing at home, next week we're going to be talking season 3, episode 6. It's called Scar Tissue. How could that be any worse than what I mean?
I don't want to know what that means.
I don't even want to know what that means. But
I don't want to know.
I mean, please. But yeah, so Lizzie does those posters. She hand does everything, and yeah, so we're almost sold out of the first poster, and hopefully we'll maybe get a second run. So, any other wonderfulness, Miss Lizzie?
That's it. I don't ever do this, but if you like zombie apocalypse literature, my book right now, Lizzie's Lost Girls. Today is October 20th, 2024. So you can get it today and tomorrow, 10/21, for free on Amazon. And it's Lizzie's Lost Girls. And it's a great story. It's a series that I have written. And right now it's a 5-book series, and I'm working on book 6. But if you want to check it out and don't want to have to spend anything for it, go to Amazon right now. You can get
folks,
it in ebook.
These will be, all the links are in the show notes. I do a podcast with my daughter, Daddy Daughter Bookworms. So we review some kids' books. So we don't just come on here and talk for 2 hours. We actually have other lives, and sometimes we even pay the bills when we have our jobs.
Yeah, that's what sometimes. Alex, I've told you this, but I'm going to say it in front of everybody. I love the podcast that you do with your daughter. She's like a pro. And what is she, like 8?
She's good. She's 9, going on 10.
9.
Yeah.
She's a pro. Like,
yeah.
She puts us to shame, that's for sure.
Well, she's more. That's for sure. And we're going to be speaking at Podfest, about that subject. We're
Alex and his daughter, not me.
Yes, we're going to be talking Daddy Daughter Bookworms in Florida at Podfest. So we are good. But I want to thank the 28 people that actually stuck it out. And there's only one more thing to do, and that's ring the bell.
You guys are so much fun. Thank you. Thank you.
See you next week, guys. Bye.
Bye.
Wrong one. Ha ha ha.
Get you home. Let's go. Come on, get in your house. Let's go. Come on.